Alright, how's everybody doing today? Back again with another video for you guys and gals. And today, what I have for everyone is my full review of the I8X TWS Bluetooth Earbuds. So let me run through this real quick. So if you're new to the channel, typically what I do is I shoot my unboxing and first impressions video, then my review process starts. And once I feel like I got a handle on everything that I want to talk about and cover with you guys and gals, then it's full review time. So without further ado, let's jump into this full review. Now, starting off, I want to talk about the overall build quality and design of these earbuds here. But before we jump into talking about the earbuds, the first thing I want to talk about is the overall build quality and design of the case itself. Now, this case right here, I have to say, is really good. Now, it also doubles as a charging case for the earbuds, and we all know what their inspiration was here. We know what these look like. But overall, the build quality and design of the case is really good. And I especially like the design of this case because it lends itself well to the overall portability of the earphones. So it's extremely portable and it's really easy to store and whip out and use when you're ready to use the earbuds. So the overall build quality and design of the case is top notch. Now, jumping into the overall build quality and design of the earbuds themselves, you're going to hear some similarities with a few big differences here. Now, talking about the overall build quality of the earbuds, I have to say it's not the best. It's okay, but it's not the best. Now, putting that into perspective for y'all, I actually dropped this several times, and two of those times, the actual earbud piece of this came out. So you can see that nice little dividing line there. Get that to focus. It actually popped off, and I had to pop it back in. But I was a little scared because if it would have dropped to the point where it was hard enough to actually strip the wires, then this would have been useless. So the overall build quality of these earbuds it's okay. It's not the best. But the overall design is really good. Now this lends itself to a few really good aspects. The overall comfort level with these in is good. Not the best, but good. And the overall sound isolation and volume because of this design is really good. Alright? So in terms of the overall build quality, it's okay. In terms of the overall design, it's pretty good. Now, let's move on. The next thing I want to talk about with you guys and gals now is the overall core features of these headphones right here, or these earphones right here. You know that's an interchangeable term with me. Now, talking about the core features of these earphones, I have to say that's really good. Now, core feature number one, and you know something I look for in all of my products, is Bluetooth connectivity. Now, in terms of core features, these earbuds have Bluetooth version 5.0 in them. So you get all of your Bluetooth 5.0 functionality and capabilities. So really good connectivity and really good range and strength. Okay, core feature number two is that these bad boys incorporate a microphone in them, which means that you can make and receive phone calls and interact with your devices using dedicated voice commands. And spoiler, even though we're going to touch on the mic in a little bit, the mic on this is pretty good. Now, the microphone is right there. Get that to focus for y'all right there. There's the microphone. So good stuff. Alright, now for some functionality here, that pretty much goes over the core features. Let's talk about some functionality aspects. Now, functionality wise, this pair of earphones has one multifunction button on each earbud. Now, this does a few different things. Now, a single press of the multifunction button pauses or plays music or videos, okay? A double press will bring up your voice assistant depending on what you're using. So if you're using Windows, it's going to bring up Cortana. If you're using an Android device, it's going to bring up Google Now. If you're using iOS, it's going to bring up Siri. Okay, so single press is is for your my bad, I should drink some water. Single press is for your media controls, so pausing and playing music, pausing and playing movies or TV shows. Okay, double press is for your voice commands. All right, good stuff there. And a triple press is how you jump to the next track. All right, so that goes over the functions of these earbuds. Now let's keep it moving. Up next now, I want to dive a little bit deeper into the sound quality, the volume, and the bass. Now, sound quality wise, I have to say that these earphones are really good. There was little to no distortion on the low and or the high ends of the volume spectrum, depending on what I was listening to. All right. And in terms of the volume, these earphones are really, really good as well. Now, I would equate that to the actual design because it actually does have some really good isolation and there's little to no leakage with these earphones. Now, if y'all want to see how these earphones fit on my head so you can get an idea of how it's going to look in your ears, I do have a separate dedicated fit and sound demo video, which I'll link up down below in the video description. Now, I do want to point out a little bit of a spoiler for that video. Because of the overall design and isolation, I couldn't really get a really good sound sample for you guys and gals, but I did my best, and at the end of the day, that's all I can hope for. I do my best with what I have. So feel free to check that out if y'all would like to know more on these earphones. But that being said, the overall sound quality is good, the overall volume is really good, and the overall bass on these is really good as well. And I was actually pleasantly surprised by the bass that these earphones were capable of producing. Alright? Now, it's not the best bass I've heard, but you can tweak it if you're okay with downloading a third-party app. You can actually tweak the bass and make it really, really good. But out of the box, it's good. It's good. All right. Next thing I want to talk about now with you guys and gals is the overall mic quality of these earphones here. Now, mic quality wise, I have to say these earphones, as I alluded to, are really, really good. Whether I was taking phone calls or interacting with my devices, I didn't have any issues with the onboard mics on these earphones. So mic quality wise, it's a really good pair of earbuds. Alright? So let's keep it moving. The next thing I want to do now is go over the pairing steps for you guys and gals. Now, what I want to do before we get into the actual steps is I want to tell y'all these steps are universal across all of the OSs and all of the platforms. But they do look a little bit different depending on the platform and or the OS that you're using. So although the steps are the same, it's going to look different on iOS as it's going to look on Android. And it's going to look a little bit different on Windows as it looks on iOS or Android, okay? And if you want to pair this up to, let's say, the Bluetooth in your car, that may look a little bit different as well, but the overall steps themselves are universal. But before we get into the pairing steps, I just want to show y'all this here. Now, there is a way for you to use both of these earbuds simultaneously, but for you to do that, you have to power on one and then power on the other and then let them connect. Okay, so I'm going to try and do that here for you guys and gals so y'all can hear what that's going to sound like. So the first thing you want to do is power on one. Alright, you'll get a nice little notification followed by this red and blue LED light indicator. It powers on and it goes straight into pairing mode. Then the next thing you want to do is power on the other one. Now I want to hold this to the mic so y'all get a nice audio sample. So give me a second. Alright, so power on the other one now. Alright. And it should have said connect. Now, I didn't really hear it. So let's try it again. Put this in my ear real quick. And we'll do it one more time. Alright. Okay. So let's try it again. Power back on. Alright, so I did get the connected audible notification here. So you can see once they're paired up, it will only flash on one. And now you can continue with the pairing process that I'm going to show you guys and gals right now. So over on your smart device, and again, this will work on any device that has Bluetooth functionality in it. So smartphones, tablets, laptops, desktops, as long as you have a Bluetooth capable device, these steps should work. First thing you want to do is navigate to your Bluetooth settings. So you could do this one or two ways. You could swipe down on your notification shade on Android, tap the settings gear icon, and then navigate to where it says Bluetooth and connected devices. Alright, boom, we're here. Then you want to turn on your Bluetooth and you want to hit pair a new device. Now, the faster way to do this, let me just clear this out for y'all. The faster way I feel to do this is the first thing you want to do is swipe down on your notification shade. Then you want to tap to turn on Bluetooth. Now it already is. And then you want to press and hold to take you directly into the Bluetooth settings. Alright, that takes you right to it. Then you want to tap the pair a new device icon. It's going to automatically begin scanning. And then you want to tap on this model number right here. Let me get a close-up of that for you guys. So TWS, tap on that. It's going to pair up. You get an audible notification on the earphones, and then you'll see this right here. So with the newer Android devices, you get a battery percentage, you get an active connected device indicator in the Bluetooth settings, and if you swipe down on the notification shade, you also get the model number and the battery percentage in your notification quick toggles area. So that's really, really nice. Now, on older Android devices, when you go into the Bluetooth setting, it should scan right away as soon as you turn on Bluetooth. Now, if you miss it, or you're still fighting with how to dual connect it and you miss it, you may have to hit the three-dot hamburger menu in the upper right-hand corner in the Bluetooth settings on your older Android device, and then push rescan. Then you wait for it to pop up again, tap that model number, and you wait for it to pair. So that pretty much goes over the pairing steps. Just wanted to demonstrate that in full detail for you guys and gals, because I know some people have issues with that, and some older people, it's their first time trying to attempt this type of stuff. So that's why I cover this step in so much detail. So for all you veterans that know how this stuff works, I apologize, but you always got to do it like this for the newcomers that are out there. So that pretty much goes over the pairing steps. Now let me turn this off. Alright, and when you turn it off, it flashes red and disconnects. So that's that. Now let's keep it moving. Alright, don't really need to keep this on anymore. Let's turn that off. Now, the next thing I want to talk about with you guys and gals is the Bluetooth range and the Bluetooth strength. Now, range-wise, the manufacturer quoted in the user manual that these earphones should have a range of 10 meters or 33 feet. And I've actually found with my testing that that is pretty much on the money. As long as I was within that designated range, I didn't have any range issues or strength issues. Now, the funny thing is, as soon as I went outside of that range, it disconnected almost instantly. So I was a little bit surprised by that, because typically it's a gradual disconnect process. But no, this one was instant. My bad, can't talk. When I got outside of the range, it pretty much instantly disconnected. And that was actually pretty funny, because I was on a phone call one time and I needed to run to the restroom and I forgot my phone, but I really needed to go. So like as soon as I got to the restroom and I was like, yo, let me just do and it disconnected. So like it dropped my call and everything. So I wasn't expecting that, but it is what it is. So you gotta live by those specifications. So 10 meters or 33 feet, that's it. No more, no less. But putting that aside, the overall Bluetooth range and strength is actually pretty good for these earphones. Next, Next thing I want to talk about now, which I've already briefly touched on, was the overall durability of the earphones. Now again, durability wise, as with build quality wise, these are not the best. Okay? So you really need to baby these or treat these with some kid gloves. Because all it's going to take is one good drop and they might drop and break, or they might drop, separate, and snap the cables, and then now you have a useless pair of earbuds. So durability wise, these aren't the best. But at least for me, I would say I got lucky. I dropped these about 3 to 5 times. One of which, or two of which of those times, was while in workouts, and I actually got extremely scared because when it dropped out while I was exercising, I was like, "Woo!" And then I had to look for it, like, where'd it go? And then I found it, and I'm like, oh man, it separated. I put it back together, and it was still working. So I actually got extremely lucky. So y'all take that for what it is. You got to be extremely careful with Bluetooth earbuds like this, and the overall durability will reflect that. Okay? So durability wise, these aren't the best. Alright, the next thing I want to talk about now with you guys and gals is the overall charge times and battery life. And this one I had to pay extra special attention to because I had two different sets of conflicting information for these earphones. Now, in the user manual, it was quoted that these earphones should have a battery life of 2 to 3 hours with a charge time of 1 to 2 hours. Now, online on Amazon, it was quoted that these earphones should have a battery life of 4 to 6 hours with a charge time of 1 to 2 hours. Now, charge time wise, these earphones take anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour to reach a full charge. So there is that. That pretty much is spot on. Now, when we talk about the battery life, I was getting nowhere close to that battery life that was quoted online. I was getting more akin to the battery life that was quoted in the user manual. So on average, I was getting anywhere from about 2.5 hours of usage to 3.5 hours of usage. Now, let me break that down a little bit more for y'all. I use my products with more of a mixed usage style, and during my testing period, I was using these with the volume set to either 50% or 75%. I didn't really test these at 100% volume for extended periods of time. So what I'm getting ready to break down for y'all was done with it set at either 50% volume or 75% volume. Now, when I had these earphones dual paired together at 50% volume, I was getting about 3 hours. At 75% volume, I was getting about 2.5 hours. Now, using these earphones separately, simultaneously, but separately, then I was getting about 3 to 3.5 hours with each individual earbud. So at 50% volume, I was getting about 3.5 hours. Then this one died. Then I had to connect this one, got another 3.5 hours. At 75% volume, then I was getting same thing, but a little bit worse. So 3 hours, then this one died, then I had to connect up this one, got another 3 hours. So to put that into perspective for y'all, if you use it simultaneously, you're gonna get a combined total of about 6 hours, give or take a few minutes. If you use it together, you're gonna get a combined total of 2.5 hours to 3.5 hours. So you really got to find that sweet spot between battery life and comfortable volume levels. All right, and keep in mind, because we all use our devices differently, your guys and gals results may vary. All right, now there is one thing that I wanted to point out in regards to the charge times and the overall battery life. Now, when you use these headphones, when you want to charge them, you got to drop it into the case here. All right. And one thing that I feel the manufacturer should have been a little bit more clear on is when you're charging the headphones and when you're charging the case by itself. Now, one thing I want to point out is that when you're charging the earphones, when they're charging, you can see you get this red indicator letting you know that the earphones are charging, and when it's fully charged, it will turn blue and then power itself off after about a minute. So that's how you know when the earphones are fully charged. Now, one thing that I don't like is when you need to charge the case, which is the only way you're going to charge the earphones. When you need to charge the case, there's no LED indicator to indicate when the case is fully charged. When you're charging the case, it's just a red flashing LED. Alright? It doesn't turn blue when the case is fully charged. It doesn't power itself off. So I didn't really like that. I'm really guesstimating when charging the case. Whereas I do have some sort of indication when I'm charging the earbuds themselves. So that is the one downside to this product that I didn't like. And the manufacturer, in my opinion, when they're coming out with the next iteration, they really need to work on that. So just had to point that out here. Alright, so that pretty much goes over the charge times and the overall battery life of these Bluetooth earbuds. Okay. So in my opinion, the charge times are really good, but the overall battery life is no. Need to do much better, especially in 2019 with these Bluetooth accessories. You need to be getting at least 12 hours of usage and a charge time of about 1 to 2 hours. So the charge time is good, but the overall usage time is not. Alright, now, the next thing I want to do before I dive into the price and give you guys my final thoughts and a recommendation or two is I want to briefly sum up the positives and the negatives, okay? So let's start off with these positives first, all right? Positive. The overall design of these earbuds are really, really good. The overall portability aspects of these earbuds are really, really good as well. The overall volume, clarity, bass, and comfort is really, really good as well. Alright? And the overall mic quality on these earbuds is really, really good as well. Charge times also very good. Alright? So that pretty much sums up the positives in a nutshell. Alright? Now, talking about the negatives of these earbuds, and this is pretty much a deal breaker for me. Now, this style of earbuds is considered to be a one-size-fits-all. And for the most part, as long as I wasn't doing strenuous activities, they fit pretty well. But if I wanted to do even the slightest bit of strenuous activities, like taking out the trash, or maybe washing the dishes, cleaning the kitchen, or God forbid I try to go for a walk, let alone run around the house, then these are not the best. For casual usage, okay. But for strenuous usage, no. So that's a negative right there. Negative number 2, as I said, these are marketed as a one-size-fits-all. But at least for me, it was a struggle to get these to seat in my ear properly and comfortably. And if even the slightest bit of moisture touches these earphones, then out my ear they would go. So again, that's not really good. Because a lot of the times when you pick up a earphone like this, you're picking it up for convenience. So mostly for me, when I pick up earphones like this, I'm picking it up because I want something super convenient that I could take to the gym that's going to stay in my ears. So if you want to work out with these, nah, don't do it. You're gonna get sweaty, they're gonna pop off, you're gonna have issues. So those are some really big negatives for me. And then when you talk about that in conjunction to the price, this was what pretty much made this a deal breaker for me. But we're going to talk about that coming up. So that pretty much sums up the positives and the negatives of these earphones. Now let's talk about the price. Now I was able to pick up these earphones via Amazon, and at checkout they ran me about $40 after taxes. Now, as I always do, in the interest of full disclosure, I'm going to go ahead and throw up a screenshot of my price at checkout so y'all know exactly what I paid. But based on that price, and after going over everything that these headphones can do, headphones or earphones being an interchangeable term, can I recommend that y'all pick these earphones up? And I'm going to have to sadly say no. I cannot recommend these. Now, keep in mind, this is just in my opinion, and your guys' opinions may vary. And, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But at least to me, the factors that made this a deal breaker was number one, the fit and the overall durability. So that's one and two. Number three, the overall battery life. And then when you look at the price, that's what kind of made that a deal breaker for me. So can I recommend y'all pick these up? No. Alright, so that pretty much brings an end to this full review. Okay? If you enjoyed this video and or found it helpful in any way, shape, form, or fashion, please help your boy out and give the video a thumbs up. That really does help me out. You don't know how much. If you want to see more content like this, also feel free to hit the subscribe button down below and click off the notification bell icon right next to it so you guys and gals get notified when I publish new videos. That being said, although this was a no-go for me, if this video piqued your interest and you guys and gals would like to know where you can pick up these earbuds at some really great prices, all the links to where you can pick up these earbuds at some really great prices will be available down below in the video description. So if your interest is piqued, down below in the video description should be like a one-stop shop for you guys and gals, and you should be good to go. Alright, this whole video here today was recorded using the rear-facing 12 megapixel camera on the Moto G7 in 1080p resolution at 30 frames per second. And all of the audio for this video here today was recorded using the Movo MA2010 omnidirectional microphone. So please let me know what you think of the overall video quality as well as what you think of the overall audio quality down below in the comments. That being said, I do want to pose this quick question before I get up out of here. If you guys and gals have headphones like this, what are some things that you like about it, and what are some things that you dislike about it, and or what are some things that you would improve on this style of earphones? Please let me know y'all feedback down below in the comments. Let's have a nice, respectful conversation down there. I'll see y'all down there. That being said, I hope everyone has a great day, and I will catch you guys and gals in my next video. Wow, these LED lights really did come in handy. Lit up the scene quite well. Have a good one, everybody. Peace. Fatality.